afternoon was an extraordinary series of events in southern Lancaster County. As you can see from the timeline here, at about 3:39 p.m., we had a reported crash at 68th and Olive Creek, and that's up here. It was a rear-end collision. One vehicle's turning left. The vehicles are northbound. One vehicle's turning left. The other vehicle collides with it. That backs up traffic on 68th Street because Norris School is getting out at about that time. About a half a mile south, and 7 minutes later, this vehicle decides that traffic's backed up too much on 68th Street. It's going to turn around in its private driveway. These four vehicles, along with an unknown number of other vehicles, are waiting for this guy to turn left because there's southbound traffic. While they're waiting, this Pontiac strikes the rear of the Toyota, which strikes the rear of the Infiniti, which strikes the rear of the Escalade. That crash is somewhat stabilized, and there's apparently a crest of a hill down here. Ford Ranger with two Norris students in it comes over the hill and collides with the entire first accident sequence. Strikes the Pontiac in the rear, which again cascades into the rest of the vehicles. There were a total of 16 people involved in these 5 vehicles. The Escalade had a parent and 4 students. The Infiniti had a parent and 2 students. The Toyota had 3 students. The Pontiac had 3 students, and the Ranger had 2 students. All the injured in this crash were from the Pontiac. All 3 of them were transported. The right rear passenger was transported by helicopter, by Star Care helicopter to Bryan West. The driver and other passenger was transported by ground ambulance to Bryan West. My understanding is the driver is still in the hospital with not serious injuries. The right rear passenger is critical with life-threatening injuries, and the right front passenger has been treated and released. At about that same time, then 2 minutes after this crash, we get a crash at 54th and Princeton Road, which is a mile to the west of the Norris School. That's a single vehicle rollover. A Norris student was not injured in that crash. She got out and was okay. So that was sort of the whole sequence of events in that 2 or 3 mile area. Norris is at 68th and Princeton Road. So it was a pretty chaotic scene. Norris sent school buses up here. Norris staff responded. Their nursing staff and other staff members responded to render aid. Medical personnel who had stopped at this scene came down to render aid at this scene, as well as other passersby. They sent a school bus up and transported all the folks involved here so that we could identify them and get some information from them and continue on with the investigation and get the roadway clear. So obviously we're still working this crash to make some further determinations. And then at about 5:23 p.m. At 79 and Branched Oak Road, a single vehicle rollover crash there. The driver, a 38-year-old Omaha man, was ejected. He was transported by Star Care. He's in critical but stable condition at Bryan West. Alcohol is suspected in his case, and he was driving during suspension. So we're doing some work on that case as well.
No connection.